Dun, 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 dun. Here we are again. So exciting. Um, this is probably going to be the best webinar we've ever done. But well, maybe not. I don't know. You'll have to be the judge. You'll let us know in the chat, which if you're tuning in live, we're hoping that you use to ask questions, to introduce yourself, to let us know where you're calling in from and what you're excited about today. We're also going to be using it, like you can see there. Katie just posted the book that we're going to be talking about today. So great for you to pull that up. We're not going to share our screen too much today, but we will show you some photos and things to get excited. But before we get into any of that, we got to do some introductions. So while we're chit chatting about who we are, we want to hear who you are. Put that in the chat over there. Say hello. We got some folks calling in from Scotland, Virginia Beach, Stormy down in Texas. I'm seeing we've got some community members here, which is great. Also, some real serious conference pros in the chat right now. Abid, Jennifer Mitchell, Remy. This is incredible. Terry, oh my gosh. So the knowledge that is about to come together like a magnifying glass is just going to burn through any bit of anxiety you have around going to a tech conference, whether it's ISTE or another tech conference. But let's do some introductions. Who is joining me today? We have the Katie Fielding and Stevie Frank with us, but I will let them introduce themselves.
I work here. My name's Katie, and I'm the content manager. And I'm so glad to have Stevie on. Stevie's a digital learning coach, and she's a friend. And I'm glad we talk about this stuff all the time. So we're really excited to bring it to you. Stevie, anything else you want to add?
You did such a great introduction. Yes. I feel like I'm friends here. I feel like I do a lot with Book Creator as I love this app. It's one of my favorite apps to use. But I definitely just really am excited to talk about this conversation. And because we are joined with so many amazing people in the chat, please feel free to share your tips and tricks. This is not a like Katie and I and David have all of the answers. As Katie said, we talk a lot about, hey, have you tried trying this travel tip? Or hey, we were actually just surprisingly talking about traveling right before we went on live. So it is definitely a passion of ours, but we are by no means the experts in all. So please share out into the chat if you have a book that you've created with all of your different tips and tricks. Feel free to save them, send them our way. I hope that this becomes a back and forth.
I love that. I love that. And I like that you said we don't have all the answers. One of the reasons that I'm here is because when I go to conference, I am a hot mess. All right. I end up forgetting to pack things. I am always late to whatever I'm supposed to be at. I'm constantly checking my phone. So I am here to act as Watson, and the Sherlocks here are going to school me a bit. So I think we should dig in. Yeah, like we've got a few topics in the book. Hopefully, you're checking it out now, and you can sort of read ahead if you want to compile your thoughts and prepare to share them in the chat. But to kick us off, and the place where I need the most help is planning ahead, like thinking about the conference and getting ready.
Stevie, you want to start?
So
Yeah, absolutely. So definitely planning ahead is one of those components where the more you plan ahead of time, the smoother your time is going to be. I even get as like organized as planning my outfits. So I am kind of known as like the carry-on kind of queen of conferences, if you will. It's just kind of something that my PLN knows about me. But something that I always do is I will take pictures and I will save them and I will even write the day. So I will take a look at my schedule and my agenda. And if I'm like, okay, I'm presenting and then I'm going to go to this after party, like I will even have like a Monday night or Monday day, like outfit, screenshot it, and then like a Monday night and screenshot it. Why do I do that? A, it cuts down on packing, and B, when I am in conference mode, it is all day. I do not have the time, nor do I want to spend the time on thinking about what am I going to wear. Oh, I have to wear my super comfy shoes because I'm going to be walking all over that day. It just really kind of helps me to make those plans. That's some of my best tips. Katie, how about you?
Yeah, I pretty much only wear black. And so that really helps keep a nice capsule wardrobe. But basically, my whole wardrobe can go together. So any top can basically go with any bottom. Most shoes can go with any outfit. So I just keep it simple to like a simple wardrobe, and that makes packing much easier. But also when I'm planning ahead, I'm thinking about like the sessions that I want to go to. And I really think about, when I was still in the classroom, I would think about, okay, what are like my goals or our school's goals for the year ahead? And that's what I would think about before I went and looked at the schedule. Because the schedule, like if you're going to ISTE, that is a huge conference. There's a lot of other ed tech conferences happening this summer or this coming year. Um, it can be really daunting when you look at that schedule, but if you have like a goal in mind before you go look at that schedule, that's going to help you make it narrow things down and make sure you're investing your time in a really applicable session.
I
Yeah,
love
I
that.
like
And
that.
Katie, that got me thinking when I was thinking about like putting things into a calendar, always make sure that you're choosing the correct time zone. So something that I do, I use a Google Calendar. And so I'll put like when I'm presenting and then because a lot of people share out on social where they're going to be, if it's even like a
Mm.
booth session or something like that. So I will plug that into my calendar, make sure that it is to the local conference time zone. But then I'll also in the like event name, I'll even
Mm.
put the time. So I'll put like
Yeah.
10 o'clock is what I saw on here, but then I'm also going to move it to the time zone just in case things, just kind of like when you're flying, your luggage is going to move around a little bit. Like sometimes it doesn't always fall into place there. So I always do that too. That made me think, and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot.
Mm.
I had learned that tip from somebody on one of these webinars that I had been on one time. So I had to share.
Yeah. And
I
if you
have
are,
something to contribute.
oh, okay. Yeah.
So I, on my Google Calendar, display two time zone times along the edge, and recently have set the secondary time zone display to the conference time zone that I'm going to next, which is ISTE. And so, because I'm getting exactly what you're saying, Steve, a lot of people are like, "Hey, can you be there at 10?" I'm like, "When is 10? I don't. I'm in Spain. I don't know when
That's a
10 is."
great idea.
So that's okay. Cool. Check.
Yeah. That's perfect. And I
Wasn't
saw
that
someone in the chat asking when I'd be wearing overalls again. I do have a pair of short overalls that I will be wearing at ISTE, so you will see them very soon. Very soon.
Love it. Not too many fit reveals. You're not going to get them in the chat, all right? We're not revealing the fits here. You're just going to have to come and show up to see those.
Do you have
All
any
Someone
right,
in
I
other?
the
love it.
comments to say
Yes.
getting used to the new time zone is like the biggest
Mm,
struggle. And my best advice is as soon as you land, like if you have a watch, if it Apple Watch, it already syncs up, you're on that time. So
yeah.
don't be like, oh, well, maybe back at home it's this time. Like I never do that. I'm always like, and David, I think you can give us better ones coming from Spain, with you going through the different time zones. But that's my biggest, like, as soon as you wake up, as soon as you land, you're like, this is what time it is.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. This
Okay.
you gotta get on time zone. Go to bed when you're supposed to go to bed.
Okay.
All right. I
I
think
love
maybe
it
we
too.
should.
Remy's talking about packing way too much stuff, which is probably not the best idea.
I think it's probably a perfect time for us to talk about our favorite things to pack and narrowing
Ooh,
down your pack because Stevie and I are both carry-on only girls. So we keep it tight.
At all costs.
Backpack. I'm a backpack carry-on girl.
I will do a rolly dependent. If I
Mm,
know like I'm just going straight from like my airplane, especially if I have a connecting, I will do a rolly just because it rolls quicker, I've learned
yeah.
than lugging my backpack. But those are some of those parts. So here are my favorites. These are things that I'm like, these are my go-to. I always do like under eye patches, but because that's just like my ritual. As soon as I wake up in the morning when I travel, I just put these under my eyes. It just helps me look more awake. And if I look more awake, maybe I'll feel more awake too as well. I have to get good sleep. So I'm one of those where I'm just like, if I don't get good sleep, I'm not my best. And so these sleep plugs, I hands down swear by. And you can get this
Really?
pack for like $10. So I order from Amazon, and that's where I will get like 10 of them, because like they're like squishy and they go in, and then I hear nothing. It's beautiful.
Mm,
Definitely, if you're going to an EdTech conference, people are going to be using their phones a lot. So I like using the battery rechargeable, like fast
mm,
charge, that one, and it has a lot of different ones. So if I need it for like my laptop real quick, or if somebody else around me is like, hey, I'm running low on battery, I'm like, one of these, one of these can
share
I
do
the
it.
always
love.
have all the dongles, whether it's for a device that I need, but you always have someone at a conference asking for a dongle. So it's always very
Mm.
nice to have to give to people.
That's so great. I love that. I didn't think to bring extras. I will do that from now on. in order for I to stay like nice and organized in my hotel room, that travel it puts my Apple Watch, my AirPods, and my phone all on it, and then it folds up nicely all together. Packing cubes. If you're like, there's no way. You're like, there's no way I can go pack. I can go carry on. Throw yourself into a compressing, not yourself. Throw your stuff into a compressing packing cube. It will amazingly, like at the first time you zip it, you're like, yeah, it's still pretty thick. But then you zip it again and it just shrinks it down to like half of
Yeah.
the size and it's all right there. So I will put like all of my pants in one, all of my shirts in one. And then if I have like extra things, then, like swimsuits or whatever it is that I'm planning on traveling with, that's what I do. I threw my Birkenstocks on here because these are my most comfortable shoes. I like sandals, especially if it's going to be hot. I am one of these goers. I am hashtag not at ISTE. I am going to 7 different conferences this summer, and I had to prioritize family time and travel time. So I will be talking about that a little bit later on when we're talking about self-care and managing your time when you're at big conferences. But these are my favorite and my go-tos. Katie, how about yours?
Yeah, these are my hacks. So I recently went on a trip for a whole month and one backpack. And these Olay cleansing melts, if especially if you're going through Heathrow, you know you are limited in carry on liquids. But I am really practicing this self-care with my skin the past few years. And so these like melt in your hand with water, so they're solid. They are a pro tip. Whenever I'm going to conference, I definitely try to build up and like at least psychologically build up my immunity. Whether it really works or not, I don't know. But so some emergency every morning at the start of my day is great at a conference, so I pack that. The gum is not actually for the gum. This is my little hack from my partner who was a through hiker. He once gave me the outside, the shell of it, and he's like, "This is for your Q-tips," and I was like, speculative. I was like, "Okay, it's perfect. It holds the perfect amount of Q-tips." And then these are like some little silicone jars for toiletries, toothpaste, moisturizer. Don't go buying travel size. Just get you some of these, clean them out every time. You're good to go. And then my
Yes.
little, I have looked high and low for really good tech bag, okay? And I wish I even had an affiliate link and I was like cool like that I could make money if you clicked on it. I don't. But this is the best tech bag I've ever found. It holds the blocks as well as just the cords. It's like the perfect size. It's made by a company called Orbit Key. I'm saying it aloud. I don't make any money on it. But it is great. I love it. It's really, and this is the Marie Kondo edition. So obviously, it's made for someone who is very organized and
Mm.
good packing.
It has to bring you joy then, because the smile on your face just screams it.
It does.
Chat is blowing up with some more advice. So definitely, we've got some out of town travelers. Abid's coming from the UK. He's saying bring your extension cords, your extra
Mm.
batteries, your plug adapters, things like that. Saying maybe wear an extra layer on the plane if you've got like a coat or something. You can do that. Wear your heaviest shoes. Pam is saying, and then some folks were asking for links, but those got shared too. So if you want to pick up those things, you can. And another thing that we learned, you can put your EduGuardian trader cards right in that same gum pack. And also Katie's
Mm.
ears smell like mint. Sorry. Did I?
You never know when you're going to need to just smell good in your ears, right?
Hey, right. That's, oh, it's wonderful. It's a wonderful day. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about, so we feel like we've got packing down, some of the pre-planning, get the app, make sure you've set realistic expectations about your time. Now you're there, it's time to execute. And you get to about 11 o'clock, you're on your seventh coffee and you're dead tired. What can we do to manage our energy instead of just relying on caffeine to get us going?
This is such a great question. I think, and that is why I had to do hashtag not at ISTE this year, is once I started to like take a look at my summer schedule and I knew ISTE was going to be a big conference and I had already had 7 commitments. I was like, I needed to prioritize my family time. I have two small little boys, and I'm like, I am irreplaceable in their eyes.
Mhm.
I'm like, that's that time that I really had to prioritize my family time, and the only time that my husband can travel to as well for his work. So that was kind of the juggle that I did. And I always try to stay true to that too as well when I do conference. So Katie knows this, and anybody else that has known this when I conference, there's always at least one night that I will say no to everything, and I will get room service or I will pick up something along the way and I will watch my housewives and I will sit in my hotel room in just complete silence and I will just like decompress. That is the way that I'm like, and I'm just like, no. I say no sometimes, and that's one of the hardest parts is because you want to do it all, but you've got to make sure that you're showing up, especially with being a presenter. If you are presenting, that's one of those parts where you're just like, I can't do it all, and it's a more of a professional thing rather than I want to, but the should I? So I would have to say doing that has really helped me to kind of preserve my person because that's important. Katie, what are yours?
Well, you and I have literally screenshotted. We're in our hotel beds, eating food, watching Housewives, just like across blocks from each other in hotels. Been like, yep, we're doing the same thing. So yeah, I agree. Like going back into your hotel room at the end of the night and decompressing is totally valid. Also, you shared earplugs for like sleeping. I have earplugs for just like being in the conference center. I have like loop
Oh,
earplugs.
good. Yeah.
I like those. But
Yeah,
my
I'm a
go-to is
liver.
snacks. Snacks. So, what are your favorite snacks, Stevie? Tell us about them here.
So I'm a pescatarian, so I eat fish, but I don't eat meat. So I've always kind of have protein on the mind, if you will. RX bars are my absolute favorite, and they're clean, so there's not a lot of additives into those, and I really enjoy that. So I always pack for one a day. Then I love almonds too as well. Some people with peanut allergies, so I don't. I like peanuts too, but I know there's some peanut allergies, but I feel like almond allergies are less that I found out. So I also make sure I think of others when I pack those. And then I had AI create two different images. And one of them was a good hotel snack, or a hotel breakfast. So I always choose my hotel to be, I'm a Hilton girly, so I only stay at Hilton's. And then once you get into a certain tier, you get the breakfast included no matter where you're at. So
That's me, but Marriott. That's why Stevie and I can never stay at the same hotel
I
because we're on
know, which
different
is why
teams.
we're away. So I load up on a big, hearty, healthy breakfast. Sometimes Katie and I will even meet up for breakfast and coffee. And then I also said like center around meals. So if you are dead in the center of your day and you're like, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, and it's lunchtime, and you're like, well, I'll just go to this one. No. Leave the conference venue. It is okay to take a step back, to go visit with friends, enjoy a lunch, like take a chill. Like that is absolutely great because then you'll come back rejuvenated. And maybe that's just you're even sitting alone. So sometimes that's helpful too to have lunch. I have done that. Katie, what are your favorite snacks?
Yeah, so I am diabetic, and so I lean heavy into the protein and the low carb, which are expensive snacks. And again, I'm a carry-on girl, so oftentimes convention centers are kind of in a downtown area. The options are fewer or way more expensive at a convenience store. So I will often Amazon. I know how we're feeling about that, but Amazon it to my Amazon locker nearby the hotel, and I'll pick it up there and get all my snacks for the week at the beginning of my stay. So that's what I did last year in Denver. It worked out great for me. You could also do the same, like ordering from anywhere and have it shipped to your hotel. But I find the Amazon locker is easier. You don't have to deal with hotel people, and sometimes hotel packaging fees can be a thing. So beef jerky is my go-to. I like these cheese crisps. They're just basically dried crisp cheese, which is always a win for me.
She
Nuts.
gave me some last time I saw her. They're incredible. They're
I've
incredible.
never seen these, Katie.
Oh,
I
They're
feel like
they're
you're
dope.
good.
holding out. You're handing them to
They're
David, but
good.
not to
I know.
me.
Next time. Nuts, true lemon, if you've never had that, is just like crystallized lemon. It's actually just lemon, as it says, and it is great for flavoring water, taking your water up to another notch, making sure you drink the water because you need to remember to do that. And these are my favorite protein bars, the bear bells, yeah. And then the Joyride is like a better carb, low carb candy. So I can still get my candy and my gummy candy when I need it occasionally. So yeah, but
I
my
love
my
it.
overall tip for snacks is like pre-order, have them either shipped to an Amazon locker. It really saves
Mm,
you time and energy in like just finding the snacks. So,
great idea. Yeah, and you know what? You save space because your carry-on, you don't have to bring it all with you.
yeah.
Very smart. I learned so much about food recommendations from my dietary fabulous friends. Like I will eat like crumbs off the floor if I'm hungry, and like nothing hurts me apparently. And like so yeah, wonderful ideas.
Yeah.
I'm definitely check out those true
Those of us who
moments.
have to
Great
think
ideas.
about it a little longer, we definitely have all the hacks for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's check in with the chat. So definitely Stormy saying gotta stay hydrated. Katie definitely supporting that. Water, water, water. Even over coffee, folks. Sometimes
Mm.
apparently Walmart doesn't accept contactless payment.
Oh.
But don't worry, the US doesn't really use a lot of contactless payment at the last I checked, but maybe they do now. I don't know. But bring your credit card if you're going to Walmart.
I think Apple Pay is kind
And
of changing the contactless scene in America. It's
okay.
it's a lot more frequent now. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. And then we do have a question in the Q&A. So I pulled that up. And
Oh.
it's a little bit more ISTE specific. So I'm going to throw this out there. This could derail everything. Will ISTE have a QR code on attendee badges that connect us to contact information to alleviate the need for
Oh,
the business card exchange? Do we know? Anybody?
I
So I know one way to work around it. I have Blink downloaded on my phone. So it's an app, Blin. Is it a Q? I have to look at it. But that is one thing that it makes it like a contactless card of contact information. And then that way, like you can just kind of bump it and then get information. I'm a good old fashioned, like I like a good hard business card, to be honest. So I like my QRs and I like that. But sometimes people be like, well, hey, don't forget to reach out. And then they'll contact it. And then I'm like, I don't know who that person was. And like I want the card to like connect with the person. So that's my personal preference. I don't know. What's the consensus here?
I also like a
I'm a
card.
yeah.
Yeah.
And what I've done
Yeah,
in the
I like
past, oh, go ahead.
well, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I have to get back to my hotel at the end of the night and like take the
Mm.
stack of cards out, and then like I sort them and write notes about them, and then I can get rid of the cards. But like, I have to have that physical thing as a reminder. Other than
Yeah.
scan a QR code, it's going in the ether.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have on my like when I was doing a lot of consulting, I would have like my information, my website on one side, and then the other side, I had a list of things to talk to me about. Because sometimes you don't know
Yeah.
what to talk about when you're meeting someone new. So mine was like, oh, I liked universal design for learning. I was this, but it also was like cheese and traveling, something a little more specific than that. But like, here are some things you can talk to me about like next time we chat or when you're meeting right away. I think it can help a
Ooh, good
person
idea.
overcome a little bit of a barrier of just how to start a conversation with you.
Got my Stormy Daniels.
Oh, his Edgy
So I thought I
Guardian
had a
card
Jennifer
coming
Mitchell too.
out.
Yeah, the Edgy
Yeah.
Guardian cards were a hit last year, and I will have to get
These
mine
are fun. Yeah, I'll
back
have the
out.
book creator one there if you want it
Yeah,
there when you're coming. So just so that you know, very exciting.
love that.
Business cards. Okay, that was a good question. We're going to get back to the agenda. Here we go. So we've gotten managing our energy. We've talked about snacks. Um, if you're like me, you love the potential of going to these events because of the networking. It's
Mm.
this unknown question mark. Who am I going to meet? And what crazy churn is going to happen in my life because I went to these conferences? If
Yeah.
you get out there and you're talking to people and you are making sure you're chatting it up, your whole life changes because there's so many people coming together that you have no idea the potential in the next conversation you're going to have. So I'd love to hear some strategies around networking and keeping up with that since we're kind of talking about business.
I absolutely love that question. I would have to say one of my biggest parts is connecting online socially and then having those like in-person interactions make those so amazing. What I also want to create space for is the fact that if you might be like, oh, I can't go talk to them. They're out there, they're publishing books, or they're doing this, and I just don't feel like I can like go up there and go say hello to them because at the end of the day, Everybody is just educators trying to do their best for students. Like that, that's it. And it's not this like celebrity, like you're going up to, your favorite celebrity, that's in Hollywood movie films. I can't speak for that crowd, but for definitely the education technology space, like it is extremely an inclusive group. There hasn't been a person that I've walked up to and I felt negativity from, or if I was like, hey, can I have a picture? It's like, yes, that's great. And just definitely, take some of that off of that. Oh, it's this person, like they're all educators at the end of the day. And I think that's, a big part about having that networking and get out of your comfort zone. So a lot of times, like I would like check socials and there's oftentimes people just post something and I'll just show up. And I'll show up
Mhm.
solo and I'll just kind of walk right in. And then they're like, oh, hey, it just is kind of like, oh, hey, you're here for the book creator party or you're here for whatever it is. Say yes to those opportunities. And if you're going in a group, so this will be my last one, is if you're going in a group, especially with district people, and I have been there, I am there, I understand, is try to get them to go out and do things maybe with you
Mhm.
or just be like, hey, I'm going to go to this networking party. Do you want to come? And if that answer is no, then they don't have to. But you are with those people all the time if that is part of your district and part of like your circle. So take this opportunity, especially if you're going to different conferences, like get out of your comfort zone, meet new people. And
Mm.
it's totally okay because it's kind of expected because everybody else is there kind of doing the same thing. So those are my tips.
I completely agree. I'm pretty much an introvert and shy. I'm not necessarily going to go up to people sometimes and say hi. Or
Or even if you do. So
yeah,
the
or if
funny thing, Katie and I, the first time that we met, I came
yeah.
up to her and I was like, "Hey, do you want to take a picture with the group?" And she was like, "Oh, it's okay." And then I was like, the annoying
No.
ex-girlfriend, and I didn't let it go because I just went up to her and I was like, "Hey, I'm going to sit down next to you, and hey, we're going to talk." And then like now we're besties.
Yeah.
But keep
So
going. I wanted to
no,
also
I
make
was just
space for
going to say, so I would say
that.
don't be afraid to go up to people because they might just be nervous about going up to you in that context, or not nervous, or just not inclined to go up to people, maybe. So step out of your box. Those of us like me will appreciate it, who may not be the one to make like the first move, if you will. Also, Eric Kurtz has an amazing document of all of the events for ISTE, if we're talking ISTE specific. And there's a really nice WhatsApp group that Stephanie Howell started, listed at the top, that they're having really great conversations on. And if I was going my ISTE my very first time, I would definitely seek that out. And they're going to be a great way to connect with people during ISTE. Yeah.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And our ISTE experts in the chat are chiming in with a lot of the same sentiment. Go talk to folks, be open. Stormy's like, pull people in who don't feel like they're being included or might look like they're on the outside. Go give them some old Texas hospitality. Stormy is the queen of Texas hospitality. So if you don't know what that is, go find her. Dustin, we're going to get that 40% up to at least 75% by the end of this webinar. You got to leave those AirPods at home and get out there and chit chat with people. Katie, what are you sharing?
I'm sharing your stuff. But am I not? I think I am.
Yeah, sorry,
Community
I didn't get
Week.
to that
Sorry,
page.
Community
Oh, there it
Week.
is. Yeah, sorry. So there's hashtag not an ISTE folks, and there's hashtag ISTE live folks, and we're hoping to bring everybody together. So there's some links here in this book that will take you to a blog post. What is Community Learning Week? We're going to be giving away free t-shirts. So if you're at ISTE and you want one of these exclusive shirts, you're going to have to join our WhatsApp group to jump in there. If you're not at ISTE, same thing. But we're really hoping to bring people together. We're going to have some webinars for not at ISTE folks. We're going to have a lot of stuff for people who see some fun stickers and things like that. So stay tuned for that. Check out the blog post. You can sign up to get access to all of that. We also have a conference notebook, which you can remix and use to take notes or prepare to add reflections or ideas to document all the contacts you've made. And of course, we're going to be at booth 3236. We're going to be right with all of your other EdTech buddies. So come and check us out. Pick up that exclusive sticker pack and try and win one of those t-shirts. We're super excited to see you, whether you're at ISTE or not at ISTE, follow the hashtags or jump into the group. It'll be a direct connect. to all of that not at ISTE stuff. So hope to see you in the chats and in the groups. And just thank you so much, Stevie and Katie. You're such a wealth of knowledge. Thank you for coming on. Stevie, this was your idea. You're the best.
Oh my gosh. Well, I love anytime I can give some travel tips and talk. I learn just as much as well from this. So thanks for creating the space for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you everyone in the chat who chimed in and just added so much to this conversation and things. You're the best. But Katie, you want to take us home? Any last final words?
I just want to say, if you're at ISTE and you want to have a margarita, I'm your girl. So just give me a ring.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you at the next one and hopefully real soon.
Bye.